Ladies and gentlemen, Dragon Ball Legends snuck in the dead of night and dropped a new banner and 2 new units. Although technically they're not in the game yet. They dropped this Friday actually, but they did add them. You can see them in game and you can look at all their stats. So I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you their animations. We have all the info, and so I'm going to give it to you. But Legends dropped a new banner format called Legends Mega Rising. It seems this will be replacing All-Star banners because we haven't gotten a new All-Star banner in, I forget the exact amount of time. It's been a very long time. I believe the last one was the blue Goku, black, and purple Frieza, and that was like 10 million years ago at this point. So we're getting a new banner format with Legends Mega Rising, and with it, we get 2 new future characters. Now, if you're wondering what the differences are going to be between the Legends Mega Rising and the All-Star banner, the only thing we know is that the Legends of Mega Rising has 2 times Z power, so you will get 1200 Z power per pull, which is just like the LF banners that normally come out, you know, every month or so. So that's nice, that's better. It doesn't seem like we're going to be getting missions with this banner, like how the All-Star banner had the missions you could purchase for, I believe, 2000 CC, and it would give you enough Z power to Z power up your character to 6 stars. So it doesn't look like we'll be getting that, which means it's going to be harder to get the new unit to 6 stars on this Mega Rising banner, but it'll be easier to get them more stars because you get 1200 Z power per pull, unlike on the All-Star banner, or 600 Z power per pull of the new unit. So you do have to pull them multiple times if you want to get to 6 stars, which you didn't have to do with the All-Star, but it will be easier to get them to 14 than the All-Star banner. So a trade-off there. Also, this banner seems like it's going to have LFs. We can see that on the banner art here, we have the new Trunks, the new Transforming Cell, and then, of course, the Trunks and Vegeta tag unit, the LF, that came out during Legends Festival. So that unit seems to already be coming back. We don't seem to know who else is on the banner. These are just the 3 they show. I would assume there will probably be other LFs on the banner, but maybe not. Maybe they're just showing the Trunks and Vegeta because it's the first time they've come back since their original release. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But if you're wondering about the Trunks and Cell, this Trunks is from the Goku Black arc, and he's a purple Trunks. And the Cell, of course, is from the Cell Saga, because he's Cell. And he's a red transforming unit. So before we get into their stats, let's actually quickly play the animations here and talk about those. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for their animations, we've gone over to Twitter. On Spoon's Twitter, I'll leave a link to Spoon's Twitter down in the descriptions. You can follow him if you want. He's a modder. He does all sorts of goofy stuff with Legends and all that. But because of that, that's how we're able to get these animations for Trunks and Cell. So let's get into it. We have, we're starting off with the first Cell pre-transformation, second form Cell. He's got a pretty standard blast. That first was his screen card animation, of course. His strike card, kind of like a lot of big, kind of powerful moves. Here's his cover change. Just get punched in the face, blasts him away. Then he transforms. And actually, this is kind of cool. You may have missed it right there, so I'm going to pause it real quick. But if you go back, during his animation, you can see right there, that's Android 18, because of course, you know, in the anime and in, you know, the Dragon Ball lore, Cell absorbs Android 18. So I like how they just literally have her in the animation for like a quick second. You can miss it if you're not paying attention, but there she is. And then Cell just flies in, absorbs her. They don't take like forever doing the whole absorption thing, because that would take forever, but then he becomes Perfect Cell. This is the second form Cell blue card. Now Cell's blast card, perfect form Cell. This is so difficult, man. There's his strike animation. There's PV from Cell. Pop Cell's blue card here. Ooh, alright. Get the little elbow. That's kind of cool. Green card gives him a whole new set of cards. Pops the main after transformed. There's the windscreen. It's kind of, you know, kind of rapid pace here, just showing all the animations. There's Trunks. I like his strike animation, like one hand on the sword. That's kind of cool. The standard Trunks blast animation. The blue card. Ooh, okay, actually I didn't see that. That's spicy. That's spicy. The Trunks cover save. Trunks has a cover change that's like the LF Super Saiyan 4 Goku's. It just is a save. Like, if they rush you, you can just send it and then just save. Here's the Trunks ultimate. Trunks' animations are pretty nice. There's Trunks' windscreen looking drippy in that sweater there. I think, did he have anything else here? Oh, animations he missed. Here's the, yeah. Here's the other animation. The Rising Rush pose for Cell. Trunks' green card. Gets the vanish there. Oh, perfect form. Cell's cover change. Different than second form Cells. That's nice. That's different. Trunks' Rising Rush pose. And yeah, that's it. So those are all their animations for the two new units they're dropping this Friday. Now let's go over their kits, and I'll say whether you should summon or not for them. Give you my opinion on if you should spend your CC or keep saving, because Anniversary is quickly approaching, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into their kits. Okay, we're back on Legends, and I'm actually going to show you something. And this is probably going to be only useful when they drop characters, like where they add them into the game during the weekly reset, but they're not technically dropping until a few days later. So when you're in the character screen here, where you can just look at all the characters you have, if you scroll down, normally it shows you the characters you don't have. There's no Vegeta or no Trunks and Cell down here, though, is there? You can't see them. So how can you look at them in-game? Well, Legends actually added this last night, too. They added this new thing on characters called, like, traits, which basically give you, like, information about the unit. It says if the unit has an ultimate, if they have a unique gauge, if they have blast armor on their strikes, if they have a special cover change and what type. All that good stuff. You can kind of go through and look at different characters to see, you know, what traits. And actually, if you click on them, it tells you what the trait does. So, like, if you're wondering what the assault trait is, it says gets an increase to damage inflicted while using or landing hits with arts. And then it shows you all the other characters in the game that have this trait. So that's kind of cool. But to look at the new characters here, because that's what we're talking about, if you go on any character that has unfavorable element factor nullification, scroll down, well, bam, there he is. There's the red Cell. You can actually go look at him yourself in-game. And so when he's 14-starred, maxed out, these are his stats pre-transformation, so before transformation. His attacks aren't very great for a new sparking unit at this point. Those are just kind of low, I'm going to be honest. He does hold health restoration down cards for both strike and blast. So, you know, it's nice when characters have more than just the basic strike and blast arts cards. Which is a basic strike, basic blast. There's this blue card. As you can see, you just shoot a beam forward, essentially. His green card. You get, so the more cards you destroy, because he destroys cards with this green card, and then draws more cards. But if you destroy 3 cards, you can restore your health by 15%, up to 3 times. So that's 45% health you can heal back. So that's kind of nice. His main ability here is a transformation. It restores health, restores your own vanishing gauge by 100%. Reduce impact and slice damage received. Cancel attribute downgrades. His Z ability is plus 35% to future regen or android-based strike attack and defense and blast defense, and 18% to powerful opponent-based blast attack. His unique 1 is Obsession with Perfection. Interesting that he does extra damage to tag androids. Androids aren't necessarily super prevalent here, so maybe this is a hint that we're going to be getting some more androids soon. We'll have to see on that front. But then applies the fine effects itself when the battle starts. He gets the damage inflicted, reduced damage received, -5 to strike and blast arts cost. Every time he enters the battlefield, restores his own health by 10. Again, if you want to read through these more in depth, I'm not going to go through this super slow because that makes the video kind of boring and take a long while. You can, you know, pause the video at any point to read through it. I'm just going to try and cover the highlights here. But restoring health by 20%, plus 50% damage inflicted. Cannot be canceled, only activates 1 time. He inflicts all enemy tag Vegeta clan with a 5 substitution count. So if you're running a Trunks or Vegeta, I guess this Cell can be very annoying because he, you know, I guess it only happens once, but still, that can be a very annoying thing to have happen. Applies the fine effects itself. If enemy health is 50% or lower, you will draw special arts next, only 1 time. You'll nullify unfavorable element factors for 10 timer counts, activates once, and you'll apply buff effect nullify cover change. So that's some nice abilities there. His Astonishing Power-Up applies the following effects to enemy when changing cover. Randomly destroy 1 card, reduce ki by 30%. Knocks back enemy to long range if a cover change is performed against a strike arts. So he has a strike cover change, which you saw in the animations. You get punched in the face and he blasts him away. And you can combo that with a blue card. Also, the fact that he destroys a card and reduces ki, so even if they don't do a strike cover change, that's pretty nice. You know, to take away ki and a card kind of slows down their attack, even if you get it wrong and it's not a strike. Applies the fine effects itself after enemy attack is over. You'll randomly draw 3 new cards, or at most, if you have 3 or fewer cards. Gradually restore health each timer count for 60 timer counts. Cannot be canceled, only activates one time. Cancel abnormal downgrades and attributes. Applies the fine effects up every time an arts card is drawn while this character is on a battlefield. And this is kind of a spicy one here. Restore ki by 10% and plus 10% damage inflicted for 10 timer counts. Every time a card is drawn while this character is on the battlefield. I would assume that wording implies it also means the enemy draws a card. But I guess we don't know until we use them. I haven't seen that. That seems kind of nutty if it includes the enemy drawing cards, because then you could get quite a few, especially with all of Cell's abilities here, like to destroy his own cards and draw 3 new ones with that. He has the ability to draw more cards. Where is it? Where's the other one? Where's the other one to draw more? Oh, yeah. Applies the fun effects to self after enemy tag is over. He gets more cards drawn there. And each card drawn gives you plus 10% damage inflicted. So you can get a lot of damage inflicted, potentially. Or a decent amount of damage inflicted from just drawing cards really quick. If you pop green cards, I assume that counts as drawing 3 new ones. So that would count as 30%. And if you get another green card, you can kind of just keep multiplying. It's kind of like the green Goku black screen card, where you get cards for cards. You're trading cards for more cards. So that's pretty nice. Can give you a lot of damage, actually, to kind of make up for his lack of damage. After transformation, he still only has 265 strike attack, which, for a transforming unit, I don't know, dog. That's kind of disappointing. He's got some nice defenses at 180, but he's a melee-type character with only 265 after transformation. Like, just to give you some, I guess, examples of other characters. Let me see. So just looking at Goku Black's, his strike tag actually is around 267, so I guess that's actually kind of similar. I didn't realize that. But Goku Black is a transforming character. If we look at one of the old OG transforming characters, good old yellow Super Vegeta. Vegito, I mean. After transformation maxed out, Big Man's at 289 strike. And this guy's like a lot older. And he's not even a strike type unit, he's a range type unit. But I suppose Cell does have a much better kit otherwise than compared to the Vegito, obviously, but it's just something that's interesting with him being a transforming unit. It makes you kind of feel like he should have a little more as a transforming unit, because you can only use it after transformation, but it's what he's got. His blue card, you dash forward, you got blast armor when you're dashing forward, so don't have to worry about that. His green card, destroy all your own cards, draw 3 new ones, restore ki. Minus 15 is special move arts cost for 15 counts. That's, 15 is a pretty big drop right there. Drops it down to 35. Fix enemies downgrade, minus 30 to health restoration. Applies the following number of effects to self based on the number of cards destroyed. Again, you can continue to heal yourself by deleting more cards. If you delete 3 cards, you get 15%. Activates 3 times. Now, whether it's... what's the first one called? I assume it's different because of different green cards. So I would assume the activates 3 times applies per... Before transformation, you get 3 times, and after transformation, you get 3 times. So that would be 90% health that you could restore from that. I would assume that's how that works. I guess we'll see. But I would assume since they're named different green cards, they're technically different green cards. But I wouldn't be surprised if they said, nah, it's 3 in general for the character. But I guess we'll see on that. Main ability, you draw a special move, restore own ki, restore your vanish gauge, nullify endurance for the opponent. It's got the same zoo ability regardless. Unique ability, plus 25% damage inflicted against tags Saiyan. So that's always useful. It's always useful to do more damage against Saiyans. There's always Saiyans in the meta. Saiyans are always around because they make so many Saiyan characters. So that's always going to be useful. Applies the fun effects itself according to the number of timer counts elapsed after transforming. So you want to kind of try and transform right away, it seems, to try and get the most out of Cell here. Because you can transform after 25 counts. And if you're transformed for 70 counts, you get an extra plus 30% to damage inflicted, because you get 10 from 30 counts, another 10 from 50, and then 10 from 70. Applies the following effects to self when this character enters the battlefield. Restore health by 10. Restore key by 20, 30% to key recovery, cannot be cancelled, activates once. Increase arts card draw speed by 1 level, cannot be cancelled, activates once. So the first time he effectively enters the battlefield as transformed state, you get an increased arts card draw speed. Also applies the following effects itself. Enemy health is 50% or below. He draws special arts, activates once. He basically does the same thing that he did pre-transformation now. Post-transformation. And then his other unique applies the following effects to enemy when changing cover. He's got the same things as pre-transformation that we went over. Destroy card, key, strike cover change. Applies the following effects to self after enemy attack is over. Restores 80% of damage received. That's actually a ton. Oh my god, 80%? Up to 80% of own health. Now, obviously, you can't die, because then you can't restore the health. So if they kill you, you can't restore 80% of your, total max health. So you do need at least, 1 HP left to have a big restore. But that's actually big right there. 80% is a huge number. Randomly drop most 3 new cards and use 3 cards or fewer. Cancels attribute downgrades, and then he has the same ability. Every time an arts card is drawn, he'll get plus 10 damage inflicted and 10 key, but the bigger one is 10% damage inflicted. So he can stack actually a whole bunch of damage here. His green card draws cards. He can draw new cards after getting comboed. Also, the restore 80% damage received is only a one-time restore because it's such a big restore, but still, that's a big restore. Cell can get a lot of health back. So if you're going to go for Cell, try and kill him. Otherwise, he's going to heal a whole bunch after that combo's done. Unless you could, honestly, if you start attacking and they swap Cell in, you may just want to stop your combo. Because then it will activate his 80% of damage received restore. And it'll be a tiny amount of HP restored if you only do, 1 strike card. So either you got to be confident you can kill him, or you may just want to drop the combo. Interesting. That's an interesting kind of ability there. But yeah, with all the damage, I guess, that he'll be getting, the damage inflicted you can be getting from people drawing cards, from him being on the battlefield, from just him existing, and then, does his green card? No, his green card doesn't give any damage inflicted. But yeah, I guess that makes up for him only having 265 strike. As a transformed unit. I just say that. Maybe they're going to make transform units just effectively be like the transformation is the same as a normal unit. Because, I mean, Rosé's strike attack is actually pretty similar to Perfect Form Cells, at least from just a pure stat number, standpoint. So, Cell's looking interesting. But as for Trunks here, we actually have to go to a different unit here. We'll actually go down here to look at Trunks. You just have to find someone that has the same trait, effectively. And it's the Goku, LF Super Saiyan 4 Goku has the same cover change trait as Trunks. So here's Trunks. It's 14 star, 255 strike attack. Again, he's a melee type unit. So, I guess it could be better there. He's just got normal strike and blast darts. His strike and blast darts his strike does apply slice and -5 to own special move. Arts cost for 15. Timer counts on hits. You can really get a low cost to your special move, your blue card here, because you get -5 every time you use a strike or blast. You could really make this be very cheap here. His blue, 30% special move damage. Nullify endurance on blue. And inflicts heavy bleed. Extreme bleed, I mean. Interesting. Nullify endurance was on the blue. Okay. That's kind of spicy, actually. His green card, restore key by 50, restore own vanish gauge by 50%. That's super nice, because more vanishes are always super nice. Cancel downgrades, applies buff effect, nullify cover change when you pop the green. That's nice for Trunks. The ultimate is Final Flash, applies the following effects self-upon activation. Destroy all your cards and randomly draw 4 new ones. Restore key by 50 and plus 50% alt damage for 3 counts. And then you have blast armor when you're charging forward. Main ability for Trunks, you draw your alt, restore health by 30%, key by 40, plus 20% damage inflicted, can't be cancelled, -5 to strike and blast darts cost, cannot be cancelled, and +1 to the amount of special cover changes that you can use. The cover save, I believe it is 2, right? We'll see here. His Z ability is nice, though. Plus 3% to special move damage inflicted by future, and then plus 35% to future Vegeta Clan or Hybrid Saiyan base strike and blast attack during battle. That's a nice Z ability right there. Unique ability, plus 25% damage inflicted against Tag God Key, because this is when he's fighting. I believe it's when he's fighting Rose, or is it Zamasu? We can check in a second. Applies the following effects itself when the battle starts. 80% damage inflicted. 100% to next special move damage inflicted. So your first blue card is gonna slap. Your first blue card with Trunks is gonna slap. Reduce damage received by 65%. Increase arts card draw speed by 1 level. Cannot be cancelled. And then also increase arts card draw speed by 1 level for 20 timer counts. So at the start of battle, Trunks here is gonna draw a lot of cards, which is gonna mean that Trunks is a quick starter unit. Trunks is a quick starter unit because you're gonna draw a lot of cards, so you can use a lot of strikes and blasts, which is gonna lower the cost of your blue. So you can use the blue on less key because you're lowering the cost by 5 every time you use a strike or a blast. And then if you use that blue card, you do 100% with your first blue card because you get 100% to the next special move damage, which is the first one. And that's a lot. That's a lot. That's kind of big. That's like a big start from Trunks. You're meant to do big damage with Trunks at the start of the gates. Okay. All right. Applies the following effects when this character enters the battlefield. Restore key by 20%. Plus 15% damage inflicted by allies. Cannot be stacked. Can be canceled, though, but it's not timed. So as long as they don't cancel your buff, you have that on allies. Inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade -1 to arts card draw speed level for 10 timer counts. Inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade plus 20% damage received. And his final unique, receives 0 damage when changing cover for the first time. And then you get an extra one when you pop the main. But so if your opponent rushes and you haven't used Trunks' cover change, you've all seen the cover change save that LF Super Saiyan 4 Goku has and some of the other characters. You just click it and bam, saves them. Now if they nullify cover change, which a lot of units do at this point, it doesn't matter that Trunks has the cover save because it's nullified. So you do have to be wary of that. You have to make sure your opponent does not nullify your cover change when you're using it, which is a big problem these days since so many people nullify cover change. Especially Gogeta Blue basically at will. He just pops a green and Gogeta Blue then can just rush you and doesn't have to worry about Trunks. And you see a whole lot of Gogeta Blue in the game, so there's that. The following effects occur upon landing a strike or blast arts hit. You'll draw a special move card's art next. Oh, yeah, so he's entirely meant to do big damage at the start of battle. If you start the battle and you catch your opponent, pop a green, you don't have to worry about getting cover changed. Begin your combo. Give -5 to the special move art's cost, and then when you use a strike or blast arts, your first one, you will draw a blue, so you have a blue in your hand. You have 2 times card draw speed for 20 timer counts, where you're giving -5 to your cost for your blue card, and then you use the blue card, which does 100% damage to the next special move damage inflicted, the first time you use one, and yeah, Trunks is entirely meant to just deal big-time damage. You get a green card to start, you don't even have to worry about getting cover changed. Trunks is meant to start out and just do some quick big-time damage to your opponent. He also restores his own key by 10 every time using a strike or blast arts hit. That's pretty diabolical. That effectively makes the cost of his strike 9 and the cost of his blast 19. 9 is, I believe, the same cost as Ultra Rose. We can go check that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. He gives plus 5% damage inflicted, cannot be canceled, activates 6 times. So you get plus 30% damage inflicted right there. Applies attribute upgrade -5 to enemy sustained damage cut effects to self. 6 times, so 5 times 6, you get -30% to enemy sustained damage cut. So that's super nice with the 30% damage inflicted. Inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade plus 15% damage received for 10 counts. Inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade -20 to health restoration for 10 timer counts. And applies the following effects to self. When enemy activates Rising Rush, you restore health by 25%. Shorten sub count by 10. Okay. And then applies the following effects to self when this character enters the battlefield if there is a defeated battle member. Restore health by 20%. Activates 3 times. Okay. And restores key by 20%. Activates 3 times. So opponent, your teammate dies once. Well, can't really activate 3 times. Can't. Because your teammates, you lose 2 teammates, so it activates twice from you losing your 2 teammates. And if you lose the 3rd teammate, that's Trunks, and you lost. So I I don't think it's endurance, because it's when you enter the battlefield that happen. Okay. I guess it really only activates twice. Interesting. Whatever, though, that's not important. So getting 25% health back on a rush, it doesn't really matter. That's not too big. I mean, I guess maybe it could help out early game if they rush you like with a Korean unit or something. But the minus 10 to sub count basically means you can just swap Trunks out for anybody. I assume if you're running a future team, you may be running Trunks, Rose, and Zamasu, or maybe... I mean, they made Trunks purple and Cell red, so I'd assume the goal would be to run Trunks with Rose and Cell, because then you have, like, purple is good against green, green is good against blue to help Cell, red is then good against yellow. It kind of has, like, a little color wheel synergy going on there between the three of them. But if you're running with Zamasu and they rush Trunks, you can just instantly sub... Or you know, you're meant to sub Trunks in, aren't you? Because it applies the Fel and affects the self, not your team. So yeah, you're meant to throw Trunks at the rush. That's what this is. Which makes sense if Trunks is a quick start unit, effectively. Trunks does a whole bunch of damage at the start of battle. Then they rush your Rose or they rush your Cell. You swap Trunks in because he gives minus 10 to his own count. Yeah, that's what it is. Minus 10 to his own sub count. Trunks gives himself extra, restores health by 25% to hopefully live it. Probably won't just because that's how Rising Rushes work. But Trunks has already done most of his damage at the start of the battle. So, yeah, that's what I'm getting out of Trunks here. It's kind of like a quick start unit, do big damage at the start of the battle. And then Trunks has... I mean, the ultimate thing here, I guess, would be Trunks has the minus 10 to sub count. Because on the rush, he has the cover save. Trunks is meant to save you from the rush. But the reason I'm saying Trunks is going to get rushed is because, again, so many people have cover change. That's really what's going on here. Their goal is that your opponent rushes you. Trunks gives minus 10 to his own sub count. Comes in with the cover save. You don't get rushed. Your opponent misses their rush. But realistically, what's probably going to happen most of the time is your opponent's going to have Gogeta Blue. They're going to pop a green card. They're going to rush you. You're going to get slapped by it because you nullified cover change. Or really any unit. I just say Gogeta Blue because you see Gogeta Blue so much and he can give himself cover change null at will with the green card. So I guess we'll see. But that's actually kind of useful if you're fighting someone and maybe the Gogeta Blue doesn't have a green card to nullify cover change or their unit doesn't have the ability. Trunks will just save you. You do have to watch out if you're fighting Trunks. This is actually nice, actually, now that I'm really thinking about it with the cover save. Should you summon, though? Should you summon on this banner? I would say only summon on this banner if you're a future main or you just happen to really love Trunks or Cell. But realistically, you should probably keep saving if you're most people. Even if you're a future, I don't think it would be the end of the world if you decided to keep saving your CC. As I said, we are quickly approaching the 5th anniversary in Dragon Ball Legends here. We're at the end of March now. So we literally just have April. And then most of May, because the Legends anniversary begins at the end of May. But we're right there. We're like 2 months away from anniversary. Now, what format anniversary will take, whether it will be like the 4th anniversary, where we get at 1 LF, the next month we get another LF, and then to end that anniversary in the 3rd month, which was May, we got MUI, then June, we got Super Saiyan 3 Goku from the movie, the Dragon Fist Goku, and then July, we got Ultra Super Vegito. If they do that again, where it's 1 Ultra, then another Ultra, or 1 LF, then another LF, then an Ultra, there's that. I could see them dropping multiple Ultras during this. I think it is entirely likely, if you are a future main, that you should definitely stop to think that there is a high possibility we see Ultra Vegito Blue. I think Ultra Vegito Blue is almost a mortal lock for anniversary at this point. So that's kind of why I say you should probably not summon on this and save. If you really want them, go for it. I'm not going to stop you. Do what you want, but I just think it would be a better tactical decision to save your CC for the upcoming anniversary, even if you're a future main. And, you probably have Rose, hopefully, if you got lucky. If you didn't, I mean, probably most people, if you are a future main, you're probably low on CC to begin with because you summoned for Rose. Whether you got him or not, you're still probably low on CC. So I would say probably, just skip this banner, save up, get ready for Anniversary, when we will probably see Ultra Vegeta Blue at some point. And he's going to be a future unit, and he's probably going to be insanely busted being an Ultra Fusion unit during Anniversary. So, yep, that's my thoughts. Probably skip the banner, but the Trunks and Cell could actually have some good uses. I don't think they're going to be, you know, they're not going to take the top spot as a unit in PvP. They're not going to usurp Rose or Gogeta Blue or Hits, but they could be pretty good. They could be pretty decent. That Trunks has some nice abilities as long as you're not having your cover change nullified. You can have a nice start. Cell has some interesting abilities, so yeah, I would say probably skip though. But if you do summon, I wish you the best of luck on your summons. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you're new. Don't forget that bell if you want notifications. I hope you all are staying happy and healthy, having the best of days out there, and I'll catch y'all tomorrow.